And thanks for tuning back into another episode of the Game of Cryptos. I hope you guys are all doing well. Guys, Bitcoin's back over 100K, and we have a tweet from Elio Trades, and he says, "The sheer quantity of PTSD lettuce handery I witnessed this week has shocked me. The first crypto president is about to take office. We just hit 100K, and you want to sell the first dip? Get a grip, we're entering the parabola, aka the banana zone. Embarrassing stuff." And what he is talking about, guys, is that little shakeout that we kind of recently saw, as you can see over here on TradingView, when Bitcoin, we had the original dip down to like 90, 91, and then another one down to like 93, 94. And as you can see at the time of this video, crypto is back up. So guys, just relax if this is your first cycle. There's no reason to panic. And if you guys saw my previous video, and what I'm also going to go over a little bit more in this video to touch up on the last video, is just showing you that this is actually the time where we are supposed to start getting into that parabola, where it just kind of moves along and then boom, banana zone. What so many people in crypto have talked about, what Raul Paul has talked about, where you just get this exponential price action. You get 80% of the gains in the last 20% of the bull run. And we are basically entering that the last year. We're entering if this is football, we're entering the fourth quarter, guys. This is where the game is on the line. This is where everything you've done up until now is all going to hopefully make you financially freer, or put in a position where you can have a more freedom and not have to do things like, going to your job all the time or 9 to 5. Maybe you can end up working part-time. So in this video, I really want to highlight upon certain time frames. And as you guys have seen in other videos, I've had this chart before. This is a chart from bitbo.io, and it's showing you the previous cycles. And one of the main things you want to pay attention to, as you can see from the green line and the orange line, those are the last two cycles we had, guys. You can see that they kind of overlap, and we reach a certain peak at a certain time. And they usually line up around the same time. We usually see a first peak, or the first top, around April, May of the last year, before we usually get back into the bear market. And then we see another peak or a top later in the year, October, November. And as you can see from this chart, it happened twice the last two cycles. And if history repeats, it could happen again. Now, this video is very, very important. I want to stress as a warning that although we might get two peaks, it is slightly a risk to hold on longer into the market, because it gives you more risk to being exit liquidity. So again, nothing I say in this video, in anything in these videos, is financial advice. But if I was telling my family, my friends, you guys, I'm looking out for you. Yes, it is person versus person, but I want to give you guys the best chance to make money. And if you want to make money out of this market, I highly recommend potentially taking profits sometime like in Q1 of 2025. You don't have to take everything off the board, but maybe take 25, 50, 75% off. It's no joke, because there's no guarantee that we are going to have another peak. If we do, that's great. But also something that's really important to notice is certain cryptos made, if you go back to the 2021 cycle, like Uniswap, Chainlink, Dogecoin, they made an initial peak earlier in the cycle. So they peaked out around, May, April of 2021, but they didn't put in new all-time highs again later on, when you had, as you can see, things like Avalanche, Decentraland, Sandbox, Polkadot, Ethereum, Polygon, Cardano, Solana. They put in their peaks later. So some of the cryptos and some of the altcoins you guys are in right now, this time, or around in 2025, around March, April, May, some of those cryptos might peak then, and they might not ever reach their all-time high again in this cycle. So I think it is very important to potentially take profit off the board around that time. And if you want proof, let's go and check out, if you want proof of what I'm saying, let's go check out, for instance, the Dogecoin chart. Everyone knows Dogecoin was one of the most popular coins to get into last cycle. It's what made a lot of people hundreds of, not millions of dollars. Retail, it was the big retail crypto that people got in, including me. This Dogecoin is what got me into crypto. If we go to the all-time chart here, let's look at time frames. Let's move this along. So as you can see, if we're looking at the time frame, Dogecoin and a lot of other cryptos, if you paid attention to my last video, I went over this. A lot of these cryptos started moving around like this time in December, like mid-December. So pretty much right around now, if not like next week or the week after, going into January, we're going to start, we should start seeing a lot of these cryptos start pumping. And as you can see, Dogecoin just started going crazy, and it reached its peak right around May 8th of 2021. It reached what is that? This says 63, but I believe the correct price was like 74 cents. And look, as you go on later, throughout that year, the market in Bitcoin peaked around November of 2021, and look where the price of Dogecoin is. Dogecoin's at 29.30 cents, and it peaked out around 75. So had you not taken profit in May and held that bag, you still made profit. If you were buying down here, you still made a lot of really good return. But if you held that bag and you sold in November of 2021, you didn't make as much. So this is why it's very important to potentially take profit, at least on some of your cryptos, I believe in as early as March, but as latest as May of 2025. Again, not financial advice, but it's just what I'm seeing going on in the market, okay? I'm just looking out for you guys. This is the time to... It's no longer time to, if you have YouTubers that keep telling you like DCA, yes, there could be some discounted prices out there, but the time the DCA was in 2022, the time the DCA was in 2023, in some parts of this year in 2024. Now we have to shift that mindset into thinking, okay, now it's time to dollar cost average out of the market, and eventually just think about selling. It's not always thinking about buying anymore. We have to change our mindset and think about, okay, when are we going to sell? Because selling is when you end up ultimately making money. You do not want to round trip these investments. And just to prove another point, if we go to the Bitcoin chart, again, we'll see, just to remind you guys, Bitcoin topped out last bull run. So let's zoom in on this chart. You remember those two peaks? So that May 2021, that's when Dogecoin, Elon Musk goes on Saturday Night Live, and everyone's like, Dogecoin's going to the moon, Dogecoin's going to $1. Everyone's friends, family are just FOMOing into Dogecoin. Little did we know that was its peak. And like I said, you went back to that chart, Dogecoin never reached and surpassed its all-time high again. And when Bitcoin pumped up in November of 2021 and reached a new all-time high, Dogecoin didn't hit its all-time high again. It didn't go as high. So that, again, this is the things that we want to be thinking about when it comes to potentially taking profit. Let's look at another popular coin, last bull run and in this cycle as well. We go and check out Solana. Let's go to the all-time chart. And again, let's zoom in here a little bit. Okay. So again, as you can see, come on. So we're on the November 2021. So right now we are, let's see, around the 10th or 11th of December. You can see Solana was just kind of, up and down oscillating around like 150, 140, 170, 160, 150, 140. And as you can see, as December went on, the price started going up. And then as the new year kicked off, January, like the last week of December and then into January is really when we start seeing this initial first peak kicking off in a lot of altcoins. And Solana went from price range around $1.50, and by April, by April or May, it was already about 25 cents, guys. Like it absolutely ripped. And this is and this is in the first peak. And then obviously it peaked again when Bitcoin peaked out in November of 2021. So if you were in Solana and you happen to not take profits in like April or March or April of 2021, you got lucky because you could round trip it and wait a little bit longer and sell in November. You got lucky because it could have easily gone down like we saw on the chart of Dogecoin. So again, the point of this video is, guys, just be prepared to potentially take a really good amount of profits in May. And if you want to, like what I would do, again, not financial advice, but this is what I'm doing, not even what I would do. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to, around March and April, I'm basically going to sell everything. And I know that's like some people be like, why would you sell? Like, hold it to the moon. Because if you don't sell, you're never going to make money. It's just unrealized gains. You have to sell to realize that money. And what I would do is maybe sell out of all your legacy plays, like your Solana, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, if you have like Caspa, Render, all those really good blue chips. Maybe take those profits off the table. And let's say maybe you have a couple grand to spare. Maybe you have like $2 or $3 grand that you're like, you know what, I'm willing to, kind of play in this crypto casino. Maybe throw that into a meme coin. Maybe, any of the memes, throw it into like XPX 6900 or GigaChad, throw it into maybe these cultural meme coins or these AI agent meme coins, throw it into a narrative that you see is like running hot at the moment and kind of ride the wave. And who knows, you might turn that 1K and you might 5x, 10x it right at the end. But you're kind of just playing on house money at that point because you already took profits and everything else. That's what I'm going to do. That way, if the market does run and does continue, I'm not going to feel like I necessarily missed out because I still have skin in the game. I still have my money in, like other meme coins and stuff like that. So that's the game that I plan on playing. Let me know in the comments, what you guys think. And again, I would just go to, roll the dice on those categories that are lower in market cap. So you can go, look at the memes, look at the hot memes that are currently, the YouTubers are talking about. You have, obviously you have like Dogecoin and stuff. But again, guys, pay attention to things like the market cap. Market cap is 60 billion. So Dogecoin might get to $1 this time, but even then, I still think might not happen. It might only go to 80 cents. But if you really want to start getting that return, you got to go down the list. You got to go past, Pepe. Maybe you might get a 5x. You got to even go down past like Whiff and Bonk. But you start looking at plays like Brett. Brett is at a $1.8 billion. Like this could go to. Brett could go to 20 billion. So you're looking at a 10x. You got Mog, you got Pobcat. Start paying attention to these cryptos. Like let's say you don't have a lot of allocation towards meme coins or gaming plays right now. Just kind of think about in the back of your head, okay, like when I do take profits, I'm going to potentially maybe throw like a little bit into these plays, like 1,500, let it roll for the rest of the bull run. If I was right when the market peaked in April or May, great, I got my money out and I don't feel bad. And if the market still runs into November, December of 2025, yeah, you could have made more money, but hey, at least you still have skin in the game because you put some money into other plays. Like you put it into something more riskier like a meme coin. And then you also can go into like the gaming sector. There's tons of plays. You have Miria, you have GFL, Nakamoto Games, you have all those. You have like Beam and Superverse. I believe it's like Super. Those are more higher caps, so obviously you're not gonna make as much a return with those. But yeah, guys, that's the point of this video. Just pay attention to. Oh yeah, this was the last thing. So the altcoin season. So this is going back in time to the December 2020, and this is right around where we are right now. Bitcoin dominance is up, and it's been oscillating. It's kind of wanted to go to altcoin season, but Bitcoin dominance kind of takes over. But guess what? As December goes through and as January is, kicking off, and then as January comes to an end, it just starts going crazy into altcoin season. And if you pay attention and look at the chart, what do we see? By like March, April, altcoin season was in full effect. And that's what I think is going to happen again here. And then as you can see, it went down because Bitcoin started dominating, Bitcoin kind of started selling off, and we were in a little bit of a down period until we went and peaked back up again, as you can see here, back in what time frame was this? We peaked up again. We went back up into altcoin season around late November, around November, December of 2021. So again, guys, the message of this video, just really, really pay attention to the market around March, April, May, because that could be a really good time to take some profit, because I do think we will see a little bit of a downturn in the summer months, and then I think we'll have that last bit of spark in November, December of 2025. But let me know in the comments. I'm very curious, where do you guys see the market going, as far as when do you think Bitcoin's going to top out? When do you guys plan on taking profits? Just really curious to know. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next video.